Justice League is the fifth entry into the unofficially titled DC Extended Universe. Follows the tried and true superhero formula of a big bad guy, this time named Steppenwolf, who wants to destroy the world, and Bruce Wayne and Diana Prince, Batman and Wonder Woman respectively, have to bring a team together to stop him. Before I get into the actual review, I want to talk about the issues that happen behind the scenes, the production issues, the development of this film, because it's quite a strange transitional period that happened during the end of the production of this movie. Zack Snyder unfortunately had to leave just around the post-production stage because of his daughter's unfortunate suicide, and Joss Whedon was brought in to kind of finish the film, and this involved heavy reshoots. There was a mandate that came from Warner Brothers that meant that this film had to be less than 2 hours long, and reading initial reports, this film was reportedly 2 hours and 45 minutes, maybe longer. Generally speaking, it does seem like a lot was cut out, and then the reshoots happened to try and make sense of what was left. All that aside, I think this film is pretty great. I kind of love it. And full transparency, I adore Man of Steel. I worship Batman v Superman. I enjoy Suicide Squad, and I love Wonder Woman. And this one, again, I kind of love it. It does have flaws. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But I think if you can overlook certain flaws, you're really going to have a fun time, because this is an incredibly fun movie. When you talk about the villain and the villain's motivations, the film is kind of disposable. However, the team are what really brings this film together and what really make it worthwhile. I feel like the actors really give a shit about the characters that they're playing, and they really believe in Zack Snyder's vision and DC's vision, and they want to really bring it to fruition. And they gave it their A game. All of the actors clearly are enjoying being in this movie. They're clearly having a lot of fun, and they clearly made friends with each other off set as well, which really leads into the dynamic between the team members. Ben Affleck once again is incredible as Bruce Wayne and Batman. This is personally my favourite on-screen incarnation of Batman now. For a long time it was Michael Keaton, but I really love Ben Affleck, and especially now that he's more like the comic book Batman, after seeing what Superman was, which was of course a beacon of hope in this universe. And that's an important thing to make note of. Batman v Superman, for all its flaws, as far as critics are concerned and audiences are concerned, that again was sort of a transitional period. It was showing these characters not as they should be. Obviously there was some turmoil, there was some damage mentally and emotionally, and these weren't the characters that they were supposed to be. That was the point of Batman v Superman. It was to sort of dissect these characters, dismantle them, and then put them back together at the end of that film. They were very heroic. They saved a lot of people, and they were much more akin to their comic book counterpart. If anything, Justice League is more so, and in this movie it is very much it's very much a DC movie through and through. It is a comic book movie, and that's the fun aspect of this film. It is not trying to be a character drama like Batman v Superman was. This is very much the summer blockbuster that I think a lot of audiences kind of wanted from Batman v Superman. And I think that's an important note. Yes, critics have shit all over this film, like they do with most, if not all, DC films, apart from Wonder Woman. But I think audiences are really going to love this film. Continuing on with the rest of the cast, Gal Gadot, once again, is beautiful and fierce as Diana Prince and Wonder Woman. She is just as good here as she has been in previous outings. Ezra Miller is incredibly endearing as Barry Allen, the Flash. However, his characterization is a little too Bart Allen for me. I don't think he's really nailed what Barry Allen is like in the comics, but there's nothing stopping him from developing into that character through subsequent films. I think Ray Fisher is really sort of the underdog as Victor Stone and Cyborg. He really surprised me. Obviously, I've never seen this guy in anything before, but I think it was pretty perfect casting for this character. And of course, Jason Momoa as Arthur Curry / Aquaman was inspired casting. I really loved that casting, even way back when there was that teaser poster released of him with the Quindent. Kieran Hines does the best he can with Steppenwolf, and he does some good voice work, but as I've mentioned, the villain in this film is really not the centre point. As much fun as he can sometimes be, the film isn't about the villain, which is why I'm very, very glad that they used Steppenwolf and they didn't go straight for Darkseid in this film, because it would have just been a waste of a great villain. The action set pieces in this film and the fight scenes and the big superhero moments are all great. They're not spectacular, and I think there is some sort of wonky CGI used in this film, but I can forgive that. It was a lot of fun. All the action scenes were a lot of fun. The score as well in this film by Danny Elfman is very safe. There are a couple of callbacks, thankfully, and I was very, very happy to hear these callbacks to the original 1989 Danny Elfman Batman theme. That's used a couple of times. And also the John Williams Superman theme is used in a couple of kind of strange and unusual ways. And thankfully, for those who are worried, there is a Hans Zimmer track used in the film from Man of Steel. I won't say the context of it. I was happy to hear some motifs from previous films. And of course, Wonder Woman's theme is still here as well, which is the Is She With You theme from Batman vs. Superman. All in all, I think you're going to have a very good time watching this film. It's a lot of fun. And I think that's the main thing to take away from it. I'm not sure exactly what people are expecting when they go and see these films. And what annoys me the most is when critics will praise a Marvel film for doing one thing, but then criticize a DC film for doing the same thing. Although this film is painted with a different color palette and it's populated by different characters, this is still kind of the same template as the Avengers movies. And for whatever reason, critics seem to shit on DC movies. And it really kind of annoys me, because this film definitely doesn't deserve the critical reception that it's got. And I think the main thing, again, to take away from it is that audiences are going to love it. There's a lot of fan service moments. There's a lot of really great superhero moments. And make sure you stay through the credits. There's a lot of credits. Clearly, a lot of people worked on this film, but it is worth it. It teases what's coming up in the future. And I think that's the main thing. Now that they've got this boring part out of the way, they can focus on future adventures and focus really now on building this universe that they've established. Yes, it's been a bumpy ride, and a lot of people are going to be still unhappy with this film. I personally, as I say, kind of loved it. Don't love it as much as I loved Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Wonder Woman, but obviously it is better than Suicide Squad. It's not as messy as that film. I think the reshoots don't particularly hurt this film. There's a couple of wonky CGI things, but that's kind of to be expected, especially when reshoots are concerned. With all that in mind, as I say, audiences are going to love it. I give Justice League a very strong B. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw here, please click like. If you've got something to say, leave a comment. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Thank you.